Al-Shalamti. Again I say Al-Shalamti. Tenestelin. Namastera. Namasteram. Hotep. Wakanda. Vigilant men, virtuous ladies, and learning students. My names are Dr. Richard Yates. Perhaps you recognize me as the inventor and innovator of GRASPMATYX, Grassmatics. Welcome to Bible Quiz. On this day Bible Quiz, you'll be given the opportunity to call and answer as many questions as you desire to. Keep in mind that when the telephone numbers are on the screen, you can call. And when you call and the phone is ringing, I would recommend that you put your television on mute or you turn the volume down so that when I accept your call, there would be no technical interruption. Thank you for joining me today, another episode of Bible Quiz Questions. And for those folks who've heard of this program before and you're a faithful viewer, why don't you get on the phone and text someone or call someone and encourage them to participate in this episode of Bible Quiz Questions. The first question of the day, coming up right now for Bible Quiz, is pay attention to the question. It says, according to the gospel of who? Matthew. Where does Emmanuel, they call Jesus in English, first publish a sermon, or where did it first took place? According to the Gospel of Matthew, all right? In the Gospel of Johann, they call John in English, for whom does Mariam, they call Mary in English, Magdalene, mistake Emmanuel, they call Jesus, in his first resurrection appearance? And there's a reason why I'm reading the question in this text or form, so that you may learn the difference between the two. How does Yehudas, they call Judas, signal Emmanuel, they call Jesus, identity to the Roman officials? You remember the story about the arrest of Christ and about Judas betraying him? Well, the question is asking, how does he give the signal? What was the signal he gave to the Roman officials that this is Emmanuel, they call Jesus in English, so that they can take him away and arrest him? That's what that question is all about. When Christians observe Palm Sunday, what biblical narrative are they celebrating? I like this question. When Christians observe Palm Sunday, what biblical narrative are they celebrating? Very good question. Which gospel is most concerned with the mystery and identity of the person of Emmanuel, they call Jesus in English? I like that. Who is the first apostle to deny Emmanuel the Christ, they call Jesus? Who was the first one to deny him? Folks, you are given the opportunity to call and to answer some of those questions. If I went through the question too fast for you, I would give you the opportunity to see those questions again. However, for those who took notes down and you decided to write a few of the questions you want to call, you can call now. And the numbers are 218-4949. 218-4949, you can call to answer the questions, or 218-1890. Those are the telephone numbers you can call and participate in the Bible Quiz Question on this day. What is the purpose of this program? Is to give you, the viewer, you don't have to be a Christian to call. If you are of the religion Islam, you can call. If you are of Judaism, you can call. If you are an atheist, agnostic, whatever, you can participate. It's a learning exercise for everyone. It is being said that the Quran is written for those who are Muslims, and the Torah for those who are Jews, and the Bible for those who are Christians. However, yours truly, Dr. Yates, says the Bible is for everyone, not for just those who are called Christians. For any and everyone who would like to read, learn of or from it, and participate. All right? So let's go to the phone and see who's on the line. Remember to turn the television down. Al Shalemti, thanks for viewing the program. Where are you at as you're calling?
Diamond Housing.
Diamond Housing Scheme. And that sounds like a very familiar voice from Diamond Housing Scheme. And which question would you like to answer today, sir? Sir?
And that Jesus gave
Speak up a little louder so we can hear you, please.
that Jesus gave Jesus.
Say that again?
The sign that he gave in order to beat Jesus Christ.
All right. Your voice is going in and out. That's why we're not hearing you clearly.
Hello?
Yeah, you said the question is, what was the question?
The question is talking about the sign that Jesus gave to the Pharisees.
Who gave the sign?
Yes. I asked what is this?
Okay. Call me again because the call is going in and out. We can hardly hear your voice. I want to make sure the viewers are hearing you, so am I, and so that when you ask when you give the answer to the question being asked, we will have a standing or comprehension of what is being said. All right? So, call again, folks. The telephone numbers are 218-4949 for you to participate in the program. Shalemti, where are you at as you're calling?
I'm calling from Diamond Housing.
Much better. Wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
And you were saying?
I'm like.
Well, we lose all the calls. You had two lines light up there and all the calls drop. Could be because of the weather. Could be because of the rain. Then again, let's see. Shalemti, thanks for viewing the program. Where are you at as you're calling? Okay. Let's try that again. All right, folks. We're hoping that where you at, if your phone service is working, you can call. All right, let's see what's going on. Al Shalemti, thanks for viewing the program. Where are you at as you're calling? Okay, we're getting no sound there. Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay. Good. So let me give you a chance, folks, to see those questions again. For those who just came into the home or you just put on the television, you have no idea. All right. Let's go and take this call. Shalemti, thanks for calling. Where are you at as you're calling?
I'm in Newtown.
Newtown. Thank you so much for calling. Is it raining where you at?
No, just cloudy.
Just cloudy. And are you a Christian or an atheist?
Christian.
Good for you. And what church do you attend?
The Billboard Christian Center.
Oh, good for you. Are you watching the program for the first time?
No, I watched last week and I called it last week.
Oh, good for you. Oh, wow. So what question would you like to answer on this day?
The one that with Judas and Jesus, how did the soldiers recognize that this is Jesus, something like that?
Yes, exactly. And what do you think the correct answer is?
He went up to Jesus and kissed him.
He did what?
Judas.
A man kissing another man? Are you sure that's it? What?
For them to recognize.
So the sign that he gave the Roman official was a kiss.
Yes.
Okay, what part of Christ he kissed?
Well, I don't know what.
You know what? I think that's the correct answer. I'm just teasing you, all right? I'm just saying how far we can take this.
Okay.
All right? And it is common in Africa, because I reside in Ethiopia, which is the eastern part of Africa. It is common in Africa and in India, mostly in Asian country, that men do hug men and they kiss each other, and it has nothing to do with homosexuality, okay? So that's why it is standable, I would say, or it is comprehensive when a person read that a male kissing another male, that it has nothing to do with the European or Western concept of homosexuality. It's a normal way of greeting, okay? So you're right. It is written in the New Testament that the one they call Judas, the sign was the kissing of Christ. Yes. Thank you so much, and thank you for participating, okay?
Right.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, that's good. We have somebody who remembered the scripture, and call. Let's see who's on the line. Shalamti, thanks for watching the program. Where are you at as you're calling?
Good afternoon. I'm calling with a question for the
Oh, slow down.
Sunday.
Yeah, before you do that, I asked a question. Where are you at right now? Where you calling? Where are you at?
Home.
Yes, I'm glad you're at home. And where's your home located? What part of Guyana?
Campbellville.
Campbellville. Are you a student?
Yes.
Okay, are you a grade student or form student? You go to secondary school or primary school?
Grade student.
So, and what grade are you?
Grade 6.
Oh, congratulations. Common entrance, huh?
Yeah.
Good. So, and what school do you attend?
Redeemer Primary School.
And do you go to church?
Yes.
Okay, and what church do you attend? You're asking mommy, you remember the name of the church that you go to? All right. Huh? Okay, never mind. Listen. Okay, that's fine. Listen to this. So the question you would like to answer on this day, what is the question?
The Palm Sunday.
About the what?
The Palm Sunday.
Oh, about Palm Sunday, yes. When Christians observe Palm Sunday, what biblical narrative are they celebrating? What are they celebrating?
Triumphal entry of Jesus into the Jerusalem.
Say that again?
The triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem.
Oh, they're celebrating the triumphant of Jesus entering. I like your answer. Let's hear what other folks have to say, all right? That's interesting, okay? But thank you for giving your answer. Let's learn from others what they have to say, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for calling. Wonderful. I like that student voice. 6th grader, strong, loud spoken. And nice to see young people, children, the students are watching this program. Yeah, call. Okay, so let's see some of the other questions real quickly so that those folks who just got home and put on the television and watching Bible quiz. According to the Gospel of Matthew, where does Emmanuel, they call Jesus in English, first public sermon took place? Where was his first public sermon? I like that question. In the Gospel of Johann, they call John, for whom does Mariam, they call Mary, Magdalene, mistaken Christ, or Emmanuel, they call Jesus, in his first resurrection appearance. In other words, this was the story of when Mariam, they call Mary Magdalene, was at the tomb of where they say Christ was buried, and she was just lamenting, and then all of a sudden someone showed up to her, and she thought it was Christ. So, who was it that she saw? When Christians observe Palm Sunday, what biblical narrative are they celebrating? All right? Great. Which gospel is most concerned with the mystery and identity of the person of Emmanuel? They call Jesus in English. Let's go to the telephone and see who's on the line. Al Shalamti, thanks for watching Bible Quiz. Where are you at as you're calling? Yeah, where are you at? Okay. Well, just remember, folks, simple question. When I ask where you're at, that means you let me and the viewers be aware that folks of different part of Guyana is watching the program. Okay, that's why I asked where you at and not where you from. All right. So, 218-4949 are the numbers to call and participate in Bible Quiz on this day. It's so important it is for us to not only read the Bible or to go to church and hear someone told or tell you a story. It's good for you to personally take time, read the scriptures, and study what you're reading. Paying attention, taking notes. All right? For it is written, study to show yourself approved. Workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Let's go to the telephone and see who's on the line. Al Shalamti, thanks for watching. Where are you at as you're calling?
I'm Newton, I'm calling again.
Good for you. All right. And which question would you like to answer?
The one with which person that Mary Magdalene mistaken Jesus for?
Oh, yeah. You remember that story?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened there? Tell us a little of the story. What happened?
Well, I can't really give everything in detail.
No, we don't ask for detail. Just tell us what you remembered.
when she saw the person in the, I think it was in a garden or something.
Yeah, okay, all right.
She must took him.
For Christ?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's,
so who she saw? She saw Joseph? Who she saw?
Oh, no, she must have, she took him for the garden, no, the person that she saw.
Oh, she thought it was the gardener?
No.
Uh-huh, interesting. Did they ever mention the name of the gardener?
No.
No?
I never see the name of the gardener.
Oh, okay, I'm telling you. And so there was a gardener there? And he was taking care of the garden?
No.
Oh, okay.
She thought it was a gardener and asked if it was Jesus rose.
Oh, wow, interesting. I like your answer. Let's see what other folks have to say, okay?
All right.
But I like yours. Okay, let's go. Okay. Interesting. Gardener? Was Christ buried in a garden? Or was he buried in a tomb? And soldiers were there to guard it. Interesting. You see, this is why it's important, again, say, folks, to study to show oneself approved. Because sometimes when we read one thing in one book, and another book may have a story, maybe not quite as the first. For example, in the book of Matthew, it is mentioned about the birth of Christ. But in the book of Matthew, never mentioned about Mary. Note that. Read it for yourself, folks, the birth of Christ. Right? In Matthew chapter 1, it mentioned about the birth of Emmanuel, they call Jesus. And interestingly, it mentioned about an angel talking to, not Mary in Matthew, talking to Joseph, they call Joseph, which is Mary's husband. And the angel talked to him and told him about the Christ child. Then when we go Matthew, Mark doesn't talk about the birth of Christ. Then Luke now speaks about the birth of Christ. And Luke now is telling us an angel is talking to Mary, not to Joseph. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes you read one thing in one book, and then the other book, it's not the same person they're referring to. In the book of Matthew, it doesn't tell you the name of the angel. In the book of Luke, it tells you the name of the angel is Gabriel. And it tells you this angel is talking to Mary. And not in no dream, literally, physically. And in Matthew, it's a dream about Joseph. That's why I tell people to study to show themselves approved. Okay? Great. So, let's see some of those questions again, because I want to give folks a chance to really pay attention to what is being asked. According to the Gospel of Matthew, where does Emmanuel, they call Jesus in English, first public sermon took place? In other words, name the place that he first preached. He gave his first public sermon. What was the name of that place? In the Gospel of Johann, they call John, for whom does Mariam, they call Mary, Magdalene, mistaken Christ, Emmanuel, they call Jesus, in his first resurrection appearance. In other words, the lady just called and she said she thought it was the gardener. Was it a gardener she thought she saw, or was it an angel? Interesting. Interesting. Let's find out, all right? So these are the questions that are available for you folks to read the Bible for yourself. And if you read it, you just mention to me what book, what chapter, and what verse, and it is written, so should it be. If it's written in that book, it's written in that chapter, and read it in that verse, and you read it for us, that would be so great in this program. And this is what I like about this Bible quiz. Remember, it's a quiz. It's not for me to preach to you or you to preach to me and for us to know. It's an opportunity for us to be vigilant, to be studious when it comes to Knowing. And Dr. Yates says, knowing the Bible and not knowing the Bible. Okay? Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I tell you folks what we're going to do. For those folks who are probably turning the Bible pages right now, and they're going through the scripture because we mentioned the book Matthew, or we mentioned the book John, they probably found out the answer. Let's see what they have to say. Shalom T, thanks for watching the program. Where are you at as you're calling?
I'm calling from Davidville.
Good, wonderful. Are you calling for the first time, sir?
Yes, the first time.
Wow, wonderful. Congratulations to you.
Okay.
Are you watching the program for the first time?
Yes.
Oh, well, good for you. How you managed to learn of the program?
Well, right now I'm on my bed and I just turn this television and I see Bible quiz. It's like, I like that.
Me too. Thank you for liking it. So, which
Right now watching the program.
yes. And you said, did you say Baggersville?
Yes, yes.
Oh, wow, beautiful. Wow, thank you. Yes, great. Now, so are you a Christian, sir, or are you atheist?
I am a Christian.
Okay, and what church do you attend?
I'm a 7 days.
Congratulations, okay? And I'm saying to you, as you're preparing for the Sabbath, happy Sabbath.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Now, so which question would you like to answer?
Jesus first public sermon.
Yes, I like that one. Was that in New York or London when he first gave his sermon?
New York. Like that.
I'm just asking. Was it in New York or was it in London, England, when he first gave his first sermon? Where was that?
Yeah, up the mountain.
Yes. And what was the name of the mountain?
No,
No, there's no mountain named Arm in the Bible. You
no,
said Arm.
Yeah.
I heard you said Arm.
I remember reading about his name, but I know it's true. He went to Galilee and went up the mountain.
Well, that's what we're looking for, the name of the mountain. You see, no, there's no mountain named Arm, but you keep saying Arm.
Sorry, sir.
That's all right.
Mountain,
All right. But at least you gave the other callers a clue, which is very good. That's a nice clue.
Okay.
Yes, yes. All right. Thank you so much for watching the program for the first time, and thank you for having a great sense of humor learning Bible quiz.
Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome, sir. Keep watching and tell folks about the program, all right?
You are joking, sir.
You're welcome. Well, folks, look at that. Oh, wow. Today, y'all got stumped. Y'all thought y'all were ready for Dr. Yates, huh? Mm-hmm. Y'all said, oh, you had, 7 days preparing and gearing up. And you put on the TV and you're ready to answer these questions. And all of a sudden, wow, look at those questions. I should be aware of the answer. But however, what happened on this day? Thank you all for participating, for those who watch the program, for those who call. And you've got 1 more minute. 1 more minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and a half to call and give the correct answer to some of the questions being asked. What was the name of that mountain that Christ preached his first sermon? Let's go there. Al Shalamti, thanks for listening. Where are you at as you're calling?
From Thomasville.
Thomasville. You're at Thomasville. Great. And you're a student? Are you a student?
Yes.
Okay. What school do you attend?
Redeemer Primary School.
Good. And what is your age?
11.
Good for you. All right. So which question, do you go to church?
Yes.
What's the name of your church you attend?
I'm a Seventh-day Adventist.
Well, congratulations to you. And I want to say to you, prepare for the Sabbath and happy Sabbath to you. All right?
Hello?
Good. So what question you like to answer on this day? What was the question you'd like to answer? Which one?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Would you like to answer the question?
The question I'm answering was where was God first sermon?
Yeah. What Christ said? What was his first sermon? Where did he preach his first sermon?
In the Temple of Jerusalem.
In where?
The Temple of Jerusalem.
In the Temple of Jerusalem? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. And what age was he when he preached his first sermon at the Temple in Jerusalem?
10.
Listen, let me say this to you. I want to say to you, congratulations. 10 wasn't his age. However, you give the right answer. He preached when he was a child in the temple. Yes, wasn't on a mountain, okay? As most people think is when he was adult he preached. He was a child preacher. Just like Dr. Yates, when I was a child, when I was the age of 1-3, they call 13, I was also a child preacher in the villages called Splaisance. For those people who remember me in Splaisance.
Wow.
Wow, that's right. When I was the age of 1-3, they called 13, I was a child preacher. But you get the correct answer, and thank you so much for calling, and I have to go because another program's coming on. My numbers are 693-3388. Folks, 693-3388. If you want to have Bible study with Dr. Yates and to learn more about this program and to learn more of the Bible, call me, all right? And I'll be more than happy to give you information that we can have studies. It's on DVDs or we can have it on the phone. It's all good. I'm saying today on Bible Quiz, as I leave, I say, Shalamti Al. Shalom, Salam, Hotep.